Okay, this Module 6 skill builder is pretty straightforward. It's just the whole goal is to get you used to the different temperature scales. We kind of get lazy and just think in terms of Fahrenheit here in the US, but it turns out that Celsius is used far more across the globe. And in science circles, actually, you'll find that Kelvin is also used quite a bit, depending on which type of science you're dealing with. Quite often in astronomy, when things are really, really hot, Kelvin is used. So it's good to be familiar with all the different temperature scales. The way you can get familiarized is to build yourself a little table and then go to an online converter. I just did a little search, Google search for 32 Fahrenheit, and a little converter popped right up. So it's quite easy to build a little table for yourself. Just throw in some different Fahrenheit values, get the Celsius values, and then the goal is to graph them. So notice that the instructions tell you to graph your Celsius values on the x-axis and your Fahrenheit readings on the y-axis. So make sure you put your Celsius and your Fahrenheit on the y-axis, and then just graph it. And it should wind up being a linear relationship, as the instructions mention. And in fact, the equation's even given to you. So it's worth building the table, but eventually you're going to wind up with this equation. That is actually the equation that you're going to use then to convert. So the y value, remember, is your Fahrenheit reading. So Fahrenheit equals 1.8 Celsius plus 32. So if you wanted to convert a Fahrenheit reading into a Celsius reading, you would need to rearrange that equation and solve. Yes, with that conversion equation, the question is, could you figure out which temperature gives the same value on both scales? Because it turns out there is one special number that is the same temperature, physically the same temperature on both the Fahrenheit and the Celsius scale. Once you've played around with that, then go back to your converter and see what 32 Fahrenheit is in Kelvin and build yourself a little graph that relates Kelvin and Celsius, I believe is the instruction. Let's see. Yes, we want Celsius. And so once you've understood how to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius, then do Celsius to Kelvin and build a little table, make yourself a graph, and get a feel for that equation as well.